Today I bought the worst reviewed 2.1 channel Bluetooth amp on Amazon. Hello everyone, welcome back to Sawdust and Circuits. Today we're taking a look at an affordable 2.1 channel Bluetooth amplifier. It costs well under $100. Has almost every input you could want, and according to some online reviews, it might even be dangerous. So naturally, I had to buy one. Here we have the Samtronics SM-618. And on paper, it sounds almost too good to be true. For around $63, you get Bluetooth, RCA, optical, coaxial, HDMI, and a dedicated subwoofer out. You even get a remote control. And it's built around the popular TPA3116 amplifier chip. The manufacturer claims up to 100 watts per channel into a 4-ohm speaker, which is a pretty bold claim for something in this price point. While researching it, I found the reviews were surprisingly divided. Some people loved it for the price, while others reported complete failures after a very short time. The HDMI input seemed to receive the most criticism, with several reviewers claiming that the section failed or even caused shorts. Personally, if I were using this amplifier with a television, I would probably just use the optical output. It's simple, reliable, and still provides excellent audio quality. Feature-wise, this thing checks a lot of boxes. Bluetooth 5.1, multiple digital inputs, analog RCA, subwoofer output, bass and treble controls on the remote. That's a lot to offer for $60. But the specifications only tell part of the story. The real question is, does it actually sound good? Well, this review took a turn I wasn't expecting. I planned on hooking this up to a few different speakers and comparing the sound. Instead, the unit doesn't even power on. No display, no relay click, and no lights. So today's review has become something completely different. Let's open it up and see what happened. The disassembly is actually pretty simple. You remove the volume knob and then the nut under it. Then you take out the 4 screws in the back panel. And the entire chassis slides right out. The first thing I noticed is that the enclosure feels surprisingly heavy. Both of these sides are made from thick aluminum with large external fins. So my first thought was that the enclosure acts as a giant heatsink. That would make sense. Except it isn't. The amplifier transistors are mounted near the center of the main board with only a small internal heatsink. They aren't thermally connected to those large heat sinks at all. So the biggest heat sinks in the entire amplifier are just cosmetic. That's not exactly confidence-inspiring, especially when you're claiming anything close to 100 watts per channel. At this point, my impressions of the build quality have dropped quickly. Since the amplifier accepts 110 to 220 on the rear panel, the first thing we can check is the internal power supply. It looks like this converts the AC into close to 24 volts DC. And surprisingly, it's working perfect. Now this is actually my second time opening this up. And now I can see there is a light on the front. So let's try to test it out while it's alive. Okay, here was my setup in the garage. And again, we have no signs of life. That means the problem is probably on the main board itself. I could probably spend over an hour tracing the voltages and diagnosing the board. But honestly, why would I? By this point, I've already seen enough questionable design, and I don't really have any confidence in the product anymore. This started out as a budget amplifier review, and instead it turned into a don't buy this video. Now it's always possible I received a defective unit. That does happen with electronics. But when you combine the dead on arrival with the questionable thermal design and a number of similar reliability complaints, I just can't recommend anybody spend money on it. Sometimes paying a little bit more upfront saves you from buying the same product twice. I'd rather own something that costs a bit more, but I can still use it 5 years later. Let me know in the comments, have you bought a product and been so disappointed that you would never recommend it to anyone? I would love to hear what that is. If you enjoyed this teardown, or at least learned something from my mistake, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.